Hey guys, it's me, Winifred, and I know it's been a while, and so you can tell by the title, yeah, I had a heart attack. Um, I'm doing well, and thanks so much for all of your well wishes, your concerns, and sending me messages letting me know that, you're worried about me and where I've been and what I'm doing. But I had a heart attack. I'm on the mend. I'm feeling a lot better. And I will get into it a little bit more at a later date. But I did want to pop on and give you all the official status of what's going on with me and what's happened health-wise. And I appreciate all of your concerns, and I promise I will not try to go on such a long hiatus again. And as you can see, it's not an ASMR video. I'm speaking in a regular tone because I did want to tell you all what was going on and to let you know I did have to have a procedure. I had a heart attack, and as many of you know, that I am a diabetic. But what I did not know is that sometimes as a diabetic, you can suffer a heart attack and not feel it. Especially, and that's not all diabetics, because my dad was a diabetic and he had heart problems, but he felt it, and he expressed to me that is not a pain that you'd ever want to feel. But I felt nothing. But there again, he did not have neuropathy, which is nerve damage. And my neuropathy is brought on by the diabetes. So what had happened is that, I was at work and I was feeling kind of congested. I felt like there was a lot of fluid in my lungs. And my thought was, and I had never had this feeling before, I was very winded going up the steps and even walking across the parking lot. And when I say winded, I mean winded. I was just like, and that's not me. I mean, I've never been winded in my life. I mean, other than, like if you're out jogging and then, but I'm saying winded just doing everyday things like walking up the steps or walking across the parking lot, that kind of thing. I mean, I went to Home Depot and I, went to grab regular things like my laundry detergent and paper goods and that kind of stuff. I buy from Home Depot, and literally I had to get the shopping cart. And again, that's not something that I normally do. But again, I thought that I had either pneumonia or a mild case of COVID. Even though I'm fully vaccinated, I thought that I might have had like a mild case of it. But at any rate, I decided I was going to take some Mucinex and Theraflu and, sit down for a couple of days. And if I didn't feel better in a couple of days, then I was going to go to emergency. Well, I didn't feel better. So I did go to emergency, and I'm thinking that maybe they may keep me in overnight, throw some antibiotics at it, and release me. Well, the doctor comes back in and he says they're going to run an EKG. So while I was in emergency, they ran a couple of EKGs and they did a CTI. I think that's what it's called. That's when they run, I guess, this white kind of fluid to see if there's any blockages. And I think he said he was going to do it from my waist up. And the technician said that there was a lot of fluid in my lungs, which I kind of already knew because I was winded. That's why I thought I had maybe pneumonia. So I go back, they wheel me back to the room, and I guess they look at the CTI and all that kind of thing in the EKG, and the doctor comes in and says, it looks like you've had a cardiac event. And that's how they phrased it. And I'm like, what the hell? Cardiac event? So, long story short, he says, we're not going to release you. We're going to admit you. And you can't stay here in emergency. We're going to have to transfer you to main campus because that's where the cardiac unit is. And they have the equipment there to treat you. Oh, God. So I get over to the cardiac unit of the hospital. They hook me up to heart monitors, and I mean, I had EKGs, ultrasound. Long story short, they ended up saying, okay, we want to do a catheterization. And if we find any blockages at that time, we would like to put a stent in. And honest to God, I think my mouth just dropped because I, at that point, was in a state of shock. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I think I might need to talk to my primary. And they got in contact with them and got my medical history, with the meds that I was on, and blah, 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 blah. And they said I would go down for the catheterization the next day. And I was nervous as hell. I'm not even gonna lie, because I am 57 years old and I've never been in the hospital for any length of time for anything except when I was a kid and got hit by a car. Other than that, nothing. So I had the catheterization, and they did have to put a stent in. So I'm thinking, after the procedure, I'm like, so it went okay? And they're like, yeah. And the next day, a cardiologist and another doctor had come in to talk to me. And had this look on their face. I'm like, okay. I'm like, the procedure went well, right? They're like, yes, but. And then he proceeds to draw a picture of the heart over on this window. Long story short, what he told me is they found multiple blockages. So I'm sitting there like, multiple blockages? And that's not the worst. Then he says that there's a section of my heart that was not getting any blood. And in order to compensate, that section grew capillaries or arteries so that it could get some blood. All right, so I don't know what to say. I just was in shock. and they deliver this to me, and he's like, it's imperative that, you take the medications and stuff that you're on. And wait a minute, let me show you the bag. Hold on. Okay, so I'm hoping that that I'm still in focus. And honest to God, one of my main goals is going to be to get a camera, and I'm so serious that autofocuses during the video, because you all know I do not have the best vision. So that is what I am going to concentrate on getting. But this is the bag of medications. And I went from having to take 2 medications a day, the metformin for the diabetes and the valsartan for the hypertension, to like freaking 8. I mean, one of these days we'll go over this, but I can't imagine. I mean, and when people say that they have to take like 30 meds, or they get 30 meds filled, and I hope that the paper rattling is not bothering you. But yeah, so far that's 4. Okay, I've got 4 more in here, and then I have another one that I have to pick up, which is Lasix, and that's for the water and the congestion. If half of this I can't even pronounce. Farxiga. And this one is Brilinta. Yeah, so these are the 8 medications, and then I got another one that I need to pick up, which is Lasix. So I'm on 9 medications. And let me say, the Lasix I do not have to take on a daily basis. These I do have to take on a daily basis, and some of them I have to take twice a day. But the Lasix, he said I only need to take that as needed. So if I feel myself filling up with fluid, or I see my legs or feet swelling up, then to take the Lasix to drown it out, God, so that I could, for lack of better words, pee it out. So yeah, that's bottom line, and I'm going to tell you, this little experience has me thinking of life a whole lot differently, and I'll go more into that on the other channel, because this channel is still going to be ASMR, and I want to share recipes with you all, because the way I have been eating, oh no, I've got to change that. But I still like good food, so I want to experiment with a few things, a few different recipes, and I'll ask you all for, your help as far as heart-healthy foods and recommendations, and sugar-free items that you all have tried and you recommend. So I just wanted to pop on to let you all know that, yeah, I'm alive. I had a little heart attack. And then I also had some other issues that were kind of depressing and had me feeling a little low. And he did say that, yeah, the heart issue will kind of make you feel a little tired, because the heart is not beating as efficiently as it should. So that explains a lot of my lethargic feeling and feeling tired at times. So, yeah, I'm just going to work on getting my heart stronger. And this weekend, I believe I'm going to go and get my post office box. And then I'll share that with you all. And then I still want to get, your postcards and all that kind of thing. Because I do want to make that collage and frame it and hang it up over my dresser. So needless to say, a lot of stuff that I wanted to do as far as organization has been stalled. So I'm slowly getting back in sync. I go back to work tomorrow. And then we'll go from there. Yeah. So, again, I don't want to keep this long, and I don't want to go into a whole lot of detail or make it too depressing, but I just want to let you all know what was going on, and that, yes, I will be back. And I bought some things, so I'm going to do a, in celebration that when I'm alive, I bought some items, and I'm going to share that with you all. And I'm really anxious to get back into the makeup. It's been a while since I've worn some. And yeah, go from there. So, thanks for listening to me, and thanks for being real patient. I so appreciate it. And thank you for all of your concern. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.